You know what's not feeling inflation?
Equal pay for black actresses.
It seems like Oprah Winfrey is under serious fire, folks. Queen Latifah and Taraji P. Henson are allegedly uniting to expose her shady dealings. So let's spill some serious Hollywood tea. As you've probably heard, there's currently a fight for equal pay for black actresses. Many actresses have been raising hell and naming names, and Taraji P. Henson seems to have found a strong ally in her recent fight against Oprah, and that's none other Queen Latifah herself. The show host's recent statements about rising inflation and how much that's affected Americans' daily lives raised some suspicions among fans, especially when she pointed to Taraji's viral comments about black actresses being underpaid in Hollywood.
Thank you, Taraji, for standing up for all of us.
It looks like more celebs are setting their sights on the queen of talk, Ms. Oprah Winfrey, trying to expose her ugly dealings and how she has turned from the advocate for black people into tyrant who walks all over her own kind. As Queen Latifah bravely stated in her speech at the recent Image Awards show, it's no secret we are facing some seriously pivotal issues. Everyone is talking about inflation. You know what's not feeling inflation? Equal pay for black actresses. Thank you, Taraji, for standing up for all of us. Now, it's been apparently a poorly hidden secret that black women in Hollywood have been getting the short end of the stick since the dawn of time. It's like there's a giant pay gap sign hanging over the industry, and nobody's bothered to take it down. But Queen Latifah is not staying silent anymore. To much shock of many, she's siding with Taraji P. Henson, who previously blasted Oprah for the same thing.
I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. I almost had to walk away from Color Purple.
Rumor has it that Oprah's been playing dirty behind the scenes, keeping her fellow sisters down and out when it comes to that almighty paycheck. And if there's one thing Queen Latifah and Taraji won't stand for, it's injustice in the kingdom of Hollywood. Remember how Taraji started the whole movement for equal pay? After her nightmarish experience with Color Purple, the movie produced by Oprah, she said, "I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired." And while it was scary to come forward and oppose one of the most influential figures in Hollywood, Oprah, the untouchable Taraji, seems to have been fed up with the current situation, and she wanted to make the change for the sake of her future and for the next generations of black actresses.
And the tears that she cried, they weren't just for her. Because each of us that are further along in our careers, we're trying to leave the door open for every black actress that's coming up behind us.
And while, for decades, the fight against the industry titans, including Oprah, has been lost, the recent turn of events offers a glimmer of hope, because when the two queens of Hollywood come together to fight for what's right, they're gonna shake the foundations of the industry to its core. As Queen Latifah urged in her speech, she wanted everyone to join their fight. Support us. Join us, because it's you who stand next to us every day. We know this, and we want to say thank you. This happened a few days ago, and judging by their determination, Queen Latifah and Taraji P. Henson will be throwing shade at Oprah Winfrey quite soon, accusing her of feeding the sick Tinseltown narrative and not backing up black sisters. During the ceremony last Sunday, Taraji P. Henson took home the Outstanding Supporting Actress, but the star isn't resting on her laurels. She used her moment of glory to again discuss Hollywood pay inequality, particularly as it affects black women.
But y'all saw what happened, and y'all showed up. You showed out.
The actress spoke out about unfair treatment, encouraging others to speak up too, and reveal the details of their own experience with Hollywood bigwigs and how they poison the lives of actors. It's a scary thing to speak your truth, but I urge you all to speak your truth, because at the end of the day, that's all we have. This year's ceremony was a moment for the ages. First, Queen Latifah kicked things off with a fiery monologue about the struggles facing Americans. But it was Taraji who stole the show, boldly declaring that black actresses continue to be underpaid in Hollywood and they should all unite to come against the evil forces. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more ironic, Taraji actually took to the stage to accept her award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in that controversial movie, The Color Purple, which became the whole reason of her beef with Oprah.
That all the fighting and fussing and crying is paying off.
But instead of just thanking the usual folks and bowing to Oprah, she seized the moment to call out those who stood by her during the press tour for the film and doing nothing, especially when she initially raised concerns about pay inequality. And guess who was that? Mrs. Winfrey herself. It may seem like another turn of their beef is starting and folks are all on Taraji's side. As one person commented, Oprah doesn't represent the black community. Oprah had forgotten where she comes from. Most people can't relate to her. $140 million is a drop in the bucket for Oprah. And another user added, "Oh, surprise, surprise, Oprah blames others and doesn't support artists. Why is Oprah still around?" In a recent interview with the New York Times, Taraji spilled even more tea about her horrible time on the set of this movie. She revealed that she and her co-stars had to fight tooth and nail for basic necessities like transportation and security, with the production initially offering them rental cars and expecting them to drive themselves to set and back for hours.
Sat smoking a cigarette and I was crying. I would have so many days like that. What are you doing? You are going.
While it was the first cry for help, it may just look that masks fell off during that ceremony. Taraji first made comments about Black actresses facing pay inequality last December. Ever since, she was supported by some of her sister who came up throwing bombshells one after another. In Hollywood, Black actresses consistently voice their grievances against the industry's unfair pay wages, but it's like no one is even listening to them. Turns out the horror stories from the set of The Color Purple are just enough to wake everyone up. After Taraji, Fantasia also spoke out, and these two weren't the only ones speaking out against Oprah's bad production. Danielle Brooks, another star from The Color Purple, spilled the tea. It's like these ladies forged a real sisterhood of fairness behind Oprah's back.
That sisterhood is very real for us. Like, it's not for play. You heard it.
Thanks to Taraji's fearless leadership, they were able to stand up for themselves and demand better treatment. And guess what? There was no one satisfied with the conditions on the set. While the actresses have been struggling to get the basic necessities, Oprah spent thousands of dollars on the movie promotion instead of dealing with the problems. It looks like after the full exposure, her reputation might not be as squeaky clean as we once thought. When even the biggest names in Hollywood are calling you out, you know you've got some explaining to do. And in fact, Oprah tried to play the saint on camera once again.
I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers, you know.
Now, when we've heard the tales of Taraji P. Henson, Queen Latifah, and even Fantasia bravely stepping into the spotlight to call out the injustices they faced in Tinseltown, it may seem that Oprah is going to catch some serious backlash. Turns out, these brave women are not alone in their accusations against Oprah Winfrey. And this lady has a trace of shady dealings. And when not just one, not just two, but a plethora of different and not connected people who echo the same sentiments, saying there is something about this woman that should be investigated. Well, with the united forces, everything is possible, as Taraji believes.
It just reminds me of how powerful we are as women when we stick together.
But let's not forget that Oprah always found her way out, even the most controversial situation, trying to shift the blame and saying that on no, she never knew what was happening. No one ever held her accountable for the horrors happening behind the doors of her elite school for African girls. And let's remember her sick attempt to raise cash after the Maui fires. In the court of public opinion, this lady has lost all trust, and now it's time to dethrone the self-proclaimed queen of Black people.
Midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online.
It feels like Oprah's reign in the industry may be over soon, and many folks are saying she cannot hide behind her lame excuses anymore because the power against her is as strong as ever. As one person commented, facts are facts. Oprah should have stepped up. Sure puts a sour taste in my mouth. While many fans are applauding these brave women for speaking out, others are warning of potential consequences. As one user wrote, I think Oprah should be ashamed of herself. And I think if Taraji suddenly starts getting less acting roles, well, I guess we will all know why, right? Well, with so much power comes great responsibilities. But it looks like this word doesn't fit Oprah's vocabulary. But folks, what do you think about all this? Could Oprah be going down if more actresses come forward to expose her shady dealings and cheap nature? And you believe that Oprah could have changed the situation using her standing in the media industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos